Welcome to Revenue Growth Live with Daryl Amy. You're about to join an interactive forum where business executives, sales professionals, and marketing leaders share ideas to accelerate growth. While you are here, make sure to like or subscribe to get notifications for future episodes. You're encouraged to get involved in today's live conversation by liking and commenting. Now, let's join Daryl Amy for fresh ideas and innovative strategies to help you grow your business faster.
Good morning, Daryl Amy here, and I'm so excited about the ideas I have to share with you today on 2 engines to accelerate business growth as we move forward into 2024. I've got some fantastic ideas to share with you that I think are going to be extremely powerful for many businesses as we move into the new year. So if you're watching live, I'm glad you're here. We're going to have a fantastic conversation today. I welcome your comments in the comments section. If you're watching later, this is definitely going to be something you'll want to take some notes on. And in the next 20 to 25 minutes, I want to keep this executive briefing very focused. I want to share the 2 core engines that every business needs to be able to accelerate growth in 2024. And when we think about this, 2024 is going to be a year that's going to be different than any year that we've ever encountered. The market is changing. It's an election year here in the United States. Customer expectations are evolving. New technology is rolling out rapidly. And we know, I can tell you one thing for sure, that 2024 is going to be different than 2023. And there's going to be some opportunities that we need to capitalize on. When it comes to growing your business, every business needs engines driving the business. And I love the picture of this boat right here. This is a smart boat owner. You know, if you're just going to motor around a lake and you can see the shore, one engine should be plenty for you. However, if you're going to go out into the deep waters and if you're going to expand beyond just your small little lake, you want to make sure that you've got 2 engines. Why do you want 2 engines? I'd submit to you that you want 2 engines for 2 main reasons. One reason is if one engine goes out, this is the obvious reason, you're still going to have something to propel you forward and get you back home. When you think about your business, that's super, super critical. The other reason you want 2 engines is it adds more power. And more power is necessary as you grow your business and accelerate revenue. Another example that I thought of as I was preparing this of 2 engines is definitely an airplane. You definitely want 2 engines on your airplane. Why? Because if one goes out, you've got another one to help you get home. Now, hats off, tip of the hat to Dave Sanderson, my business coach and good friend, who was actually the last person off Sully's flight that made an unplanned landing in the Hudson River because I think it was geese flew into both engines at the same time. But putting that story aside, the reality is we want to get on an airplane that has 2 engines because we know that it's going to give us the safety of if one engine goes out, I've got another engine and I get twice as much power in all of this. So Daryl, what does this have to do with growing my business? I'm glad you asked. I want to refer to the great Peter Drucker, the great management thinker. Peter Drucker said, the purpose of business is to create a customer. Therefore, the business has 2 and only 2 basic functions: marketing and innovation. Marketing and innovation produce results. The rest are costs. You know, Peter Drucker shoots straight and doesn't mince words here. And he says, if you want to grow your business, you need 2 things. You need marketing. And for my friends in sales, I'd say marketing and sales. You'll find that for those of us who use EOS, for example, we've got our sales and marketing, our marketing and sales team and our VTO. That's super critical. That's one engine. But the second engine has to do with innovation. So someone's got to be selling the ideas and products and services, but we also need a function in our business where someone is coming up with those products and services. So the first engine, if you've hung out with me for very long, you're probably familiar with this first engine. This is the revenue growth engine. And the revenue growth engine is for sales and marketing. This is the sum total of your marketing, sales, and operations processes that are aimed at driving revenue. And in the Revenue Growth Engine book, I talk about two types of revenue growth. There's two and only two kinds of revenue growth. And these two kinds of revenue growth create the flywheel at the middle of this engine. One is net new. How are we doing at grabbing net new business? The other is cross-selling. How are we doing at expanding our revenue inside our current client base? So you could talk about market share and wallet share. You could talk about landing and expanding. All of this creates a flywheel of exponential revenue growth. And you'll notice around the outside are all the different processes that need to be put in place by marketing and sales in order to drive this engine, or what Jim Collins would call a flywheel. But in the middle is something that is super, super critical. And I went ahead and circled it today. In the middle is the ideal client. The ideal client. Why is the ideal client in the middle? Because ideal clients are the kinds of clients that need everything that you have, that trust your company and will buy everything that you offer. And when we go in and we do revenue growth plans inside businesses and we begin to identify the ideal client, if you've hung out with me once again, you know I'm passionate about ideal clients because routinely we discover that ideal clients are worth 10x, 20x, 30x. I've actually seen 100x, 100 times the value of an average client. So if we want to propel our business forward, it makes sense that we would build a growth engine around that ideal client, and that we would focus our message. So much to talk about here. And by the way, if you'd like to get a copy of the Revenue Growth Engine book, just go to revenuegrowthengine.com and you can actually access the audiobook for free right now. My gift to you. But this is the first engine that you need running in your business. You need a revenue growth engine. And if you don't have a revenue growth engine, your business is going to be in trouble. Revenue growth engine mindset says, let's take revenue growth, since it's so critical to our business, and let's put not only people, but let's put processes and let's put playbooks alongside that to make sure that we can create a predictable source of revenue. This is a really, really critical engine for your business. And if you want to go back to what Peter Drucker is saying here to all of us today, businesses, our purpose is to create a customer. And therefore, we have two basic functions: marketing and innovation. So one engine is around your revenue growth engine. That's the sum total of processes, people, and playbooks that you have put together to be able to drive revenue growth. So I hope you have a revenue growth engine. And we are always, as businesses, working on upgrading our revenue growth engine. We're upgrading our marketing capabilities. We're upskilling our sales teams. We're ensuring that our customer experience is outstanding. All part of that first engine. But there's another engine to growth that I want to highlight today. And it comes into focus as we begin to look at what Jim Collins said in his book, Built to Last. In Built to Last, Jim Collins looked at some of the greatest businesses that had lasted a long time. When he wrote some of his early work, he went in and found great businesses, and then he looked up 10 years later, and some of those businesses weren't around. So he wanted to know what the successful habits of visionary companies are. What are visionary companies doing that helps them stay around for a long time? Now, by the way, seeing visionary in the subtitle, you got my attention. I'm definitely a visionary. For those of you who are Colby people, I'm a 2486. I'm strengths finder, strategy, ideation, innovation, all of that. I love that. And working genius, I'm a IW. So I love this title about successful habits of visionary companies. We're going to come back to that in a few minutes. But here's what Jim Collins discovered all of these companies had in common that were built to last. They were set up to not just do well now, but to do well years and even decades from now. They were able to preserve the core, and they also were able to stimulate progress. They had structure to preserve the core. They had operational excellence, and they were also able to stimulate progress. They had innovation. And this is the second engine that I think so many businesses are missing right now. It's an engine around innovation. And I'm excited about the launch of Strategic Innovation Engine, because while we look on the operations side of the business in terms of preserving the core, we've got revenue operations model here in revenue growth engine that is being implemented in companies with operational excellence in multiple industries all over the world. Makes my heart happy to see great companies thriving. But what I began to realize is when you go back to what Jim Collins is saying, that we've got to not only stimulate, preserve the core, we also have to stimulate progress. So we don't just need operations when it comes to revenue, we need strategy. And that's why I think it's really critical if you want to go out into the deep waters, like that boat we looked at earlier, or if you want to fly at high speeds, great distances, and have people feel confident enough to get on your airplane, I think you need two engines going in your business. And today I want to talk about the second engine, strategic innovation. Here's what I've noticed. I've noticed that in most businesses, especially in the mid-sized businesses, the established businesses where I spend most of my time, there is what we would call an innovation desert. Startups have innovation. Why? Because if you're a startup company and you don't innovate, you're going to die quickly. And if you think back to when you launched your company, it was all about figuring out what we can do to provide a good or service that the customer needs in a way that they're willing to pay for it. And we innovated. Go to the other side of the spectrum and look at enterprise companies, Fortune 500 companies. In Fortune 500 companies, there's entire innovation departments. Why? Because they know if they're going to sustain the momentum of that organization, they've got to continually be innovating. Interestingly, a lot of the strategies that enterprise companies use, in addition to having their own innovation departments, they buy startups, which is fantastic because they're buying innovation. But I've noticed that there is this massive gap in between startups and enterprise companies and what I call the mid-market. These are established companies. These are companies that are not, just getting started. They've got a solid customer base. They've got a steady stream of revenue. They've got an operating system for operational excellence running. What I've noticed is most of these companies are light on structure when it comes to innovation. Sure, they may have an innovative founder, and they may have a visionary in the company, but have they created a structure for innovation that ensures that we've got an engine powering the organization? What is strategic innovation? I've been bringing this topic up. Strategic innovation is the process of creating value for ideal clients by developing, piloting, and packaging breakthrough ideas to create transformation and build competitive advantage. Strategic innovation is the intentional process of creating value for ideal clients. It's interesting when you look at a lot of companies and you think about innovation. I love the phrase that my friend Jennifer Zick uses called random acts of marketing. She says she says so many companies are just kind of randomly shooting out marketing. And I think that's really, really brilliant. But I think the corollary is also true with companies when it comes to innovation. They may have a great marketing team in place and a great revenue engine in place. But when it comes to innovation, it's kind of like random acts of innovation are happening. The founder is going to a conference and getting an idea, or maybe someone happens to have an idea, but the chances of it ever seeing the light of day are not good because the person that had the idea, is not in a role where they feel comfortable or feel it's their role to share an idea. And so many innovations happen randomly inside a business, but you can't scale a business based on random actions. So this is why I'm very passionate that we need new engines. I love this new book. I just started reading The Curiosity Muscle by Diana Kander and Andy Frum. And they said this in the introduction of The Curiosity Muscle. And I think this is something that's really obvious when we just think about it for a second. What customers went wild for yesterday is the boring, banal, bare minimum price of admission they will accept today. And tomorrow it will not be enough. And here's what we have to realize as leaders inside our businesses. We may be crushing it right now. We may be leading the market. We may be doing really well. We may be even growing revenue outside of price increases. By the way, if you're growing revenue, I double dog dare you to factor out your price increases and see what your real growth was. I think it's really important, but you may be crushing it in that area. The fact of the matter is the world is changing. Customer expectations are changing. Technology and science is changing. All kinds of things. Your customers' industries are changing. And what they went wild for yesterday, there's a really good chance that that thing that was so hot in 2022 and 2023 may just be bare minimum average price of admission in 2024. And the point behind all of this is we've got to stay ahead of the curve. There is no business that can stop innovating and survive. And this is what Jim Collins found in Good to Great. So I propose to you that we need a strategic innovation engine. And a strategic innovation engine is founded around 5 core principles. It creates new value. I have yet to meet a business owner or salesperson that doesn't say, yeah, we're a value-added business. When you ask about their business, now we're not a low price leader, we're a value-added business. Okay, well, are you creating new value? If you're truly a value-added business, that means you're always looking for ways to add value. And what we just read from the Curiosity Muscle says, hey, what worked last year may not work this year. So we've got to always be thinking about how can we create new value. Then for whom? We create it for ideal clients. Ideal clients are the types of clients, the 20x, the 30x clients that can propel our business forward faster and that also value what we do and have a higher chance of sticking around. There's so many reasons we want to do this around ideal clients. And the more we can understand their specific outcomes, obstacles, and opportunities, the more we can create value that's relevant. I like to say that value is in the eye of the beholder. So we create new value for ideal clients with breakthrough ideas that no one's thought of before. Sometimes this is products and services. Sometimes this is the way we deliver the products and services or the customer experience around it. Sometimes it's our go-to-market strategy. There's a lot of different ideas that fall under the category of innovation that can be used to create new value for ideal clients. Now, all of this has to happen using a process. And I want to pause here and talk about this. Randomly hoping that the visionary of your business is going to create innovation is not a sustainable process. Yes, there's good ideas, but we need a process to do 2 other additional things. We need to be able to tap the ideas that are happening inside your company right now with people on the team that are working up close and personal with your ideal clients. All day long, they're having ideas. Sadly, most of those ideas, I believe, get lost. And the second thing is we don't just need to be able to generate ideas. We need to be able to take those ideas and pilot them, optimize them, and package them up for implementation. For my friends who use EOS, how many times, and I'll just raise my hand and say guilty as a visionary, have I gone into a level 10 meeting and said, I got a new idea. I airmail it into the meeting and it lands like a bomb and everyone rolls their eyes and says, oh, come on, man, we're trying to solve some issues here. Let us get our business right with what we're doing right now before you give me an unproven idea. What if we had a process? What if there was a process to take that new idea and make sure it was piloted, optimized, and packaged up, ready to be integrated into the business? Look, if you have 3 great ideas, and for any business, 1 or 2 great ideas implemented every year could be a game changer. But let's say you come out with 3 great ideas into the pilot, optimize, and package side of things. One of them may be ready to go. One of them may just be a total flop. Well, thank goodness you didn't hand that one to your implementation team. And one of them may require some more work. But the point is, you have a process to be able to take these ideas and investigate whether they're going to work. And all of this is around building competitive advantage, setting yourself up so that you are always the leader in your marketplace. And as you create value for ideal clients by developing and rolling out breakthrough ideas, you develop competitive advantage in your marketplace. And this is what we need right now. We need competitive advantage. So I have a question. How could you make strategic innovation a consistent part of your business? What could you do to take these ideas and make them a consistent part of your business? This is something really, really important, I believe, as we enter 2024 in an evolving marketplace. And we got some ideas, and one idea is right here from Vern Harnish in Scaling Up. Vern Harnish says, you should have a strategic thinking team. You should have a team of people that's thinking about the future. And as he talks about the strategic thinking team, Vern Harnish refers over to Jim Collins' book, Good to Great. And Jim Collins says every great company has a council of people that's thinking about the future. They're innovating. They're coming up with new ideas. Now, how could this work? Well, first of all, you need a process behind all of it. So I want to share a process with you that we call the strategic innovation engine. And for everyone listening in, I'm happy to have a longer conversation with you about how this might work in your specific business. But the 4 steps are right here in the middle. We identify, we innovate, we investigate, and then we integrate. I know I love alliteration, but hey, that's what you get when you hang out with me. Identify. The first thing is we need to identify who are the people on our team that have the gift, the genius, the working genius of innovation. And in Patrick Lencioni's breakthrough model, working genius, he identifies 6 types of working genius. These are things that bring people joy. It's like their core gifting. And the first 3 are very related to innovation: wonder, invention, discernment. What could we do? What could we create? Should we do it? These are all giftings. These are all geniuses that are set up around innovation. I believe that in most companies, especially mid-sized companies with operational excellence, most of your wonder, invention, and discernment people are bored and they're unengaged because no one's asking them about their ideas. What if we could identify who those people are in your business and pull a group of them into an innovation council? An innovation council that does the second thing, which is innovate on a regular cadence with a process. Many of you that use operation systems like EOS are already familiar with a quarterly process for your integration team. What about a quarterly process for innovation? Quarterly innovation days. And those days set up in a way that helps do what we talked about earlier, to create new ideas, to add value for ideal clients by creating breakthrough ideas. The ideas that come out of this quarterly innovation day, though, are not ready for prime time. The best ones need to move to the next stage, which is investigate. During the investigate stage, in the 90 days between those quarterly innovation days, that's where the Innovation Council begins to pilot, optimize, and package up the great ideas for implementation, which is the last step in the process, which is integrate. So we can integrate these ideas. And so this is a proven process. You need a process if we're going to have something that's going to become a part of your company's DNA. Identify the innovators, innovate on a regular cadence, investigate the ideas, and get them ready to integrate. You know, Jim Collins, in my favorite book he wrote, Beyond Entrepreneurship 2.0, just an incredible book. He says to be an enduring great company, we believe it must have the ability to innovate continually, to have a constant flow of new ideas, some of which are fully implemented. Most companies have a creative founder. That's a visionary. Most companies have a visionary. The challenge, however, is to become an innovative company rather than a company dependent on an innovative founder. If you think about the power of that for your organization, to have not just an innovative person, but to have a team of people with a consistent process that are innovating, that is a strategic innovation engine. And I believe that will be a game changer for many, many, many businesses in 2024. So, how does it work? Well, if you want to spark innovation, first step is to identify. You want to identify a council of employees with working geniuses of wonder, invention, and discernment, people that are close to the ideal client. If you haven't taken a deep dive into your ideal client profile, you'll want to know who that is as well. Then you can begin to innovate with a consistent cadence of innovation with quarterly strategic innovation days, and then investigate a cadence to pilot, optimize, and package new ideas for integration into your business. And what this will do is ensure that you've got a steady stream of innovation moving forward. This becomes the second engine in your business. So the real question as you move into 2024 is, how many engines do you have on your business? If your business is an airplane, are you a single engine, single propeller business? Yeah, you got a sales and marketing team and some processes around that, what I like to call the revenue growth engine. Or are you a business that is ready for prime time and saying, yes, we're going to create a revenue operations engine to make sure that our team is delivering when it comes to revenue growth. And we're going to create a strategic innovation engine to make sure that our team is consistently bringing new value to the market. And I want to propose to you that if you are an established business and you don't have a process for innovation, maybe 2024 is the year you should get that done. And if you want to learn more about that, simply go to strategicinnovationengine.com. This is our brand new website. And you'll learn about the strategic innovation engine, how it works, how you benefit, and how you can get started. And when you click on get started, we'll set up a conversation, 45 minutes, where we'll take a deep dive into how an innovation council, a strategic innovation council, could work in your business. So thank you for joining me today for this conversation. I'm passionate about helping purpose-driven companies grow so they can have an impact. And I know when you have two engines on your boat, two engines on your plane, and two engines in your business, you're going to be able to scale your growth faster, and you'll be able to have more of an impact in the world. And that makes my heart happy. So please visit strategicinnovation.com. We'll put the link in the chat, and make sure your business has a fully functional, high performance strategic innovation engine as we move into 2024. Thanks for sharing time today. I look forward to talking with every one of you about your business and your growth strategies. And as we say at the end of every revenue growth podcast, let's get going and let's get growing.